accused number 2 in the murder case of Eldorado Park's 16-year-old Nathaniel Julies, Caylene Whiteboy, has accused the first suspect, Scorpion Ndyalvane, of threatening her life. Speaking through her attorney, Whiteboy says Ndyalvane did not want her to tell the truth in court. Now, for more on the story, we cross live to our reporter Mbali Thethani, who is at the Protea Magistrates court. A lot unfolding this morning and early parts of this afternoon. Mbali, if you could give us some highlights of exactly what it is that has transpired.
That's right, Tammy. It is, of course, an explosive testimony or evidence which we've heard here at the Protea Magistrates Court. This is in concern with the Nathaniel Julies' case. We've heard from the affidavit of that accused number 1, who's also known in the community of Eldorado Park as Scorpion. He has basically denied firing that live round that instantly killed Nathaniel Julies on that fateful day. We've also heard then from accused number 2, Caylene Whiteboy, also says that, the live round that was used on that day, or the firearm which was used on that day, it is a firearm that she had used much earlier on in the day when she tried to disperse a crowd in Freedom Park, in Eldorado Park, and it was initially loaded with rubber bullets. But on that day when they were inspecting a car in Eldorado Park in the community, she then tried to scare off Nathaniel Julies, and she was then instructed by her senior police official to then fire that round. Only after then she realized that that specific firearm, which she had, no longer had rubber bullets but instead had live rounds. It was then that the body of Nathaniel Julies was then loaded into the back of the vehicle and then transported to the Baragwana hospital. So of course we continue to hear the evidence here today. We've also heard evidence from accused number 3, who then says that there is the issue around how 2 cases of bullets were found on the scene. He says that those bullets, he found them from various community members, but we've also heard evidence of how actually those bullets were actually planted on the scene by some of the officials here. We've also heard Whiteboy saying in her testimony, in her affidavit, saying that her life has been threatened, especially by accused number 1, who has threatened her that if she tells the truth, she will be killed. Tammy.
There are a lot of questions that immediately spring to mind, Mbali. First and foremost being how firearms and the property thereof are handled within the police. One would assume that the rifle that Whiteboy has is her rifle and that she keeps on her person. And how then did the bullets change from rubber bullets to live ammunition? Who could have done that, when, and why? Was any of that spoken about or touched on today? Or is that something to be left for when the case is actually heard?
Well, it's something that she also spoke about, saying that she had no idea as to when and how those rubber bullets were changed from rubber bullets into live rounds. We've also seen, Tammy, something that has also come out. We know that the Eldorado Park community is also blaming the first accused, Scorpion, saying that he is basically saying that he's responsible for the killing of Nathaniel Julies. Basically also telling the court here today, saying that, well, when IPID conducted its investigation, the ballistics from that specific firearm were not his, so he wants to be exonerated from this specific crime. But the issue around how, Tammy, the rubber bullets were changed from the rubber bullets into the live rounds, it's something that has left even Whiteboy puzzled.
So as it stands, Mbali, as a confirmation, all 3 of the applicants are pleading not guilty at this stage?
Yes, that's right. They are pleading not guilty, Tammy. We also know that they are facing a charge of murder. And when it comes to Whiteboy, she basically says that while she did fire that arm on that day, it was not deliberate, saying that she's basically looking at the whole issue of around being charged with murder or premeditated murder, basically saying that she had no idea that her firearm was loaded with those rubber bullets and it would then take the life of Nathaniel Julies.
The court has adjourned at the moment and will be reconvening shortly. What ought we to expect upon its return?
Well, we are continuing to listen to the affidavits which are being presented here, Tammy, and much later on we'll hear if whether those three accused who are applying for their bail will then be granted or it will then be postponed for another date.